The Clean Water Act, CWA, 33 U.S.C. Section 1251 etc. 1972, was enacted to protect the quality of the nation's waters. The Federal Water Pollution Control Act was enacted in 1948, which led to the Clean Water Act being passed by United States Congress in 1972 to strengthen water quality standards, control pollution, and enforcement mechanisms. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. At the time of its enactment, many rivers and lakes were heavily contaminated with pollutants, posing significant risks to public health, aquatic ecosystems, and recreational activities. The primary objectives of the Clean Water Act are to restore and maintain the chemical, physical, and biological integrity of the nation's waters, eliminate the discharge of pollutants into navigable waters, ensure that surface waters are fishable and swimmable, provide financial assistance and technical support to state and local governments for water quality management programs, regulate pollutant discharges through National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES, which requires permits for point source discharges into surface waters, water quality standards to protect designated uses of water bodies, and programs to control non-point source pollution from sources such as agriculture and urban runoff. The Clean Water Act establishes conditions and permitting for discharges of pollutants into the waters of the United States under the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, NPDES, and gave the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, the authority to implement pollution control programs such as setting wastewater standards for industry and water quality standards for all contaminants. The Clean Water Act made it unlawful for any person to discharge any pollutant from a point source into waters of the United States unless a NPDES permit was obtained under its provisions. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. For EPA to approve permits for a discharge into ocean waters, the discharge must comply with the guidelines established under Section 403(c) of the CWA found on EPA.gov. The intent of these guidelines is to prevent degradation of the marine environment and require an assessment of the effects. The Clean Water Act intends to reduce industrial discharges, untreated sewage, runoff from agricultural and urban areas, control the addition of fill into waterways, removal of fill material from waterways, mitigate impacts to wetlands, and reduce degradation of the nation's waterways. A permit is required under Section 404 of the Clean Water Act to dredge fill for removal or add fill material into navigable waters, including wetlands. Permitting process involves obtaining authorization from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, USACE, which administers the Section 404 program in coordination with the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and/or state regulatory agencies. EPA issues technology-based effluent guidelines for discharge standards requiring treatment technologies within CWA Sections 301, 302, 304, and 306. Overall, the Clean Water Act has played a crucial role in improving and protecting the quality of the nation's waters, safeguarding public health, supporting aquatic ecosystems, and promoting sustainable water management practices. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's dive into some case law for CWA. Sierra Club vs. Cedar Point Oil Company, 1996. The Sierra Club alleged that Cedar Point Co., when operating an oil and gas well in Galveston Bay, Texas, discharged significant amounts of produced water into the bay without a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES, permit. Produced water results from chemicals used in the oil and gas drilling process mixing with water. The court held that Cedar Point was violating the Clean Water Act, CWA, by discharging pollutants without a permit in this case. Court of Appeals ruled that discharges of pollutants into navigable waters without a permit violated the Clean Water Act. The decision established an important precedent for enforcing the CWA's permit requirements and holding polluters accountable for water pollution. United States vs. Riverside Bayview Homes, 1985. This landmark Supreme Court case affirmed the scope of federal jurisdiction under the Clean Water Act, ruling that wetlands adjacent to navigable waters are subject to regulation under the CWA. The decision broadened the definition of waters of the United States and expanded the federal government's authority to protect wetlands from pollution and development. The court issued regulation defining freshwater wetlands as areas inundated or saturated by surface or groundwater, supporting vegetation adapted for life in saturated soil conditions. Riverside Bayview Homes began placing fill materials on its property near Lake St. Clair, Michigan. The court upheld that the property was wetland subject to the Corps' permit authority. Discharge of dredged or fill materials into navigable waters is prohibited unless authorized by a permit issued by the Army Corps of Engineers, Corps. Be sure to check out the USGS Mapper tool to locate whether your project is in a CWA-listed waterway that requires Clean Water Act compliance actions or permits for work. For example, see here I found a site searched using latitude and longitude along the Mississippi River. In this image, you can see the main river and other CWA-listed streams and waterways. To search coordinates of wetland areas, go to the NWI Mapper and type in your project latitude and longitude. Here you see I searched my past home, San Mateo, California, near San Francisco. There are a lot of wetland areas depicted on this map. You can see the different kinds of wetlands by clicking to make the legend visible. If you click on the waterways, the mapper will give you more information on each. I really love NWI. The mapper is pretty cool and has such great level of detail in all you see. This mapper brings environmental compliance to the next level and really makes evaluating projects way easier. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below, do you know of any water issues in your area? Comment below, do you like the Clean Water Act and the different mapping tools I provided? There are so many great tools that help us improve our waters toward having less toxins. We should surely use all technology available to us. In environmental law, for instance within the Clean Water Act or Clean Air Act, often this is called the utilization of best available technologies, BAT. BAT is an ever-evolving concept because as societal values and technological advancements change, what is considered reasonably achievable and a best available technology. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment below to help support this channel and help me succeed so I can post more videos for you. Thank you all for joining me. Talk to you soon on the next one. Feel free to check out Level Up with Alyssa Mahan YouTube channel to level up your life in a more personalized way. See you there. Click on the on-screen images to subscribe and watch more videos.